Knicks family, what's popping? Sixers off to a rough start. Knicks in a bidding war. Let's go. Emmanuel, what's popping, bro? BN, CJ, what's up? So, I don't know. We start following the Sixers. It's a rough one tonight. I mean, you look at, to put it in perspective, man, you said we think we're jinxing teams. Leave it up to the Knicks fans, right? To jinx teams. I mean, put it in perspective, man. If the Celtics did this tonight without Jaylen Brown, I mean, obviously they don't have Kyrie and they don't have Gordon Hayward. But then without Jaylen Brown, who is now their leading scorer, and they still won by double digits. Wow, I mean that's scary, right? That's pretty scary because I mean, when Jaylen Brown comes back, then what answers will the Sixers have? Now it's game one, you know what I mean? And obviously as you move up and you move ahead in the playoffs, things might get a little bit more tense. You know what I'm saying? And with the Sixers being so young, so many young players, they might get a little bit nervous. Joel Embiid's never been there. Obviously, Ben Simmons never been there. JJ Redick, he's been there though, so he's that veteran guy that can help settle the team down. But the Celtics, they got some guys that's been there. Marcus Smart's been there. Al Horford's been there. Even though Kyrie is not on the floor, he's been there, and he's still on the bench, can coach the guys up, talk to the guys, those type of things. But damn, the Celtics got mad talent to be able to continue to win and go as deep into the bench as they've got to go. Terry Rozier is killing it. Jason Tatum is killing it. They got crazy talent. You know what I'm saying? And Delano, you said the Celtics caught them off guard. I think Philly had the mentality that we got enough to beat Boston and they came out lax. That could be. But that's a sign of a young team. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's a sign of a young team. That's what young teams do. You know what I mean? They'll come out lax because they feel that they have the game won already. I don't know if there's, are there many adjustments to make right now? Maybe they just need to, maybe the adjustment is for them to come out with a little bit more energy, a little bit more focus, and going into the second round, what the pressure is amped up a little bit. Maybe they just need to get the jitters out. We'll see. We'll see what they do. You said the process looked more like the bus tonight. Hey, you know what? I mean, the only thing I can say is, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? This is his first time being on this stage. Even though they're not super deep into the playoffs, this is as deep as he's been. Ben Simmons as well, So, there's a different kind of, I keep saying pressure, but I don't want to say pressure because to me, this kind of pressure doesn't really exist. This kind of pressure is all in your own mind. In my opinion, it's all in your own mind. You put that there. But still, it's a stage that he hasn't been on. And it might take some time to get the jitters out. Maybe rust. They were sitting for a little bit longer than Boston was, so maybe a little bit of rust. But man, does Boston have coaching and young and players and talent? Brad Stevens is killing it. You know what I'm saying? He is killing it. Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier. What Terry Rozier is doing, man, is you got to feel you got to fill in for Kyrie, and that's already got to be like, wow, I got to fill Kyrie Irving's shoes, but he's not coming out trying to be Kyrie. He's just playing his game, and with him playing his game, man, he's doing his thing out there, and he's earning himself a contract. You know what I mean? Terry Rozier is earning himself a contract, and at some point he's going to want to be a starter. He's going to want to man his own team. He's going to want to lead his own team. And he's earning it. He's earning it right now. Terry Rozier is he's doing his thing, man. If we take a look at the box score tonight, looking at Philly, Joel Embiid had 31 points, shot 57% from the field, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. Robert Covington laid an egg. Although I like Robert Covington, you know what I mean? I like Robert Covington, but he laid an egg tonight. Dario Saric, he did what he usually does. JJ Redick, 20 points. Ben Simmons, 18, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Marco Bellinelli had 11 points. Ilyasova, 6 points, 9 rebounds. I mean, the Sixers put up 101 points. They probably could put up a little bit more. If you really go and look at the matchup, the Sixers shot 42.2% from the field. And that's due to Boston's defense, right? Boston plays that tough, rugged defense. Sixers going to have to learn how to deal with it. 5 of 26, they shot 19% from the three-point line, 74% from free throws. They out-rebounded the Celtics, but the Celtics shot 48% from three, 48% from the field, 94.7% from the free throw line. Not going to beat anybody when you let them shoot that way. You know what I mean? Anybody's. You're not going to beat anybody that way. Let's go back and we look at the Boston's box score. Jason Tatum, 28 points, 3 rebounds. He had 4 turnovers, but the guy balls out, man. I think Emmanuel just said he kind of plays like he's like a young Melo. My only thing with Jason Tatum in comparison to Melo is I think Jason Tatum plays a little bit more within the offense than Melo does. With Jason Tatum, the moves are quicker. So when he gets the ball, it's not like he's sitting holding it and getting in rhythm. Jab, step, getting rhythm. It's more of I got the ball, okay, I'm going to make a move. But he does remind me of a Melo. His the way he looks out there on the floor, as far as how he takes shots, his form, those type of things, looks kind of like a Melo. I just think he plays a little bit more into the system of the team than Melo does, and maybe that's because he's a rookie. And when you're a rookie, you kind of you got to fall in line. You're going to fall in line. You know what I mean? But I like Jason Tatum a lot. A lot. A whole lot. I was just asking my son. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's going down the line. Al Horford had 26.7 rebounds. Aaron Baines, he had 6.6 rebounds. Marcus Smart, I really like Marcus Smart, man. I just love his toughness. 9 points, 9 assists. And, of course, Terry Rozier, 29 points, 61.1% from the field, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. The kid is balling out. You know what I'm saying? He's balling out for sure. You know what I'm saying? Daniel, yeah, he's Jason Tatum is slim. Melo's a little bit more husky than Jason Tatum. But back in the day, Melo was slim. You know, he was slimmer. You know what I mean? When Melo was a rookie, he was slimmer too. A little bit more athletic than he was now. But Melo's never been super athletic. You know, even back then, he wasn't super athletic. Jason Tatum, he's not super duper athletic either. He's not one of them super athletic guys either. And that's why you can compare him to Melo. You know what I mean? You know, because Jason Tatum's not super athletic. He's an athlete, but he's not one of them super athletic guys that's going to jump out the gym and do all these crazy things. But I really like Jason Tatum. And I can talk about it now since I went down the box score. But I was just talking to my son. What if the Knicks had accepted a trade to Boston for KP? I know I've seen some people in the chat say that the Knicks should have accepted that trade or found a way to work that trade out. I don't know if Boston had actually offered anything to the Knicks, but I know there was some talk and rumors about him going to Boston for possibly Jaylen Brown and a pick. Do you think that pick would have been Jason Tatum? Or maybe since they would have had the first round pick, they might have chosen you know, what's his name? If they had that top 3 pick, they might have chosen what's his name, you know, from the Sixers that's sitting on the bench. Markelle Fultz. I don't know. Right? But what if the Knicks would have traded KP to Boston and got Jaylen Brown and a pick, then that pick turned out to be Jason Tatum. Would the Knicks have been better with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum rather than KP? You say it would have been Fultz, and it might have. Maybe it would have been Fultz, unless they were so in love with Frank or Mitchell that they still had that ninth pick, and you know they chose to look at a Jason Tatum and get a Frank. I don't know, right? But would the Knicks have been better? You say yes. Emmanuel say yes. Miguelo, you say yes. I think they would have been better too. I think they would have been better. Jaylen Brown is a heck of an athlete. He's still very young. He's got a lot of growing to do still. Then you would have had a rookie like Jason Tatum possibly that would have had a lot of growing to do as well. Man, that would have been, and then we would have picked up a point guard. We would have been set. Some people say no. Angel says hell no. I don't know, man. I think that the Knicks would have been better with Jaylen Brown and Tatum than with KP. I think they would have been better, and I think we would have had a better future. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I don't know. You say never trade with Boston. Why is that? Why never trade with Boston? I guess because, well, I guess because Danny Ainge is so good, we might get fleeced. That's what you're saying. That's possible. It's definitely possible. You know, Danny Ainge is one heck of a GM. He just knows what he's doing. You know, he just knows what he's doing. Jason M., you say no, Tatum and Brown would have been on the bench. Don't forget Hornacek would have still been the coach. That's true. Hornacek would have been the coach. But if the guy's got talent, man, they're going to use him. And if you trade KP, you better use the guy that you traded him for. You know what I mean? Steven, you say KP isn't being used right. I don't know. Maybe not. But this is what I see. The reason why I think we would be better. Jaylen Brown has a little bit more of that, just a little bit, maybe not a little bit more, maybe a lot more. I don't know. Just a little bit more dog in him, though, than KP does. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more dog in him than KP. A better defender, in my opinion. On-ball defender I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just blocking shots. I'm talking about on-ball defender. You know? And then you would have Tatum, who is 19, who I think is going to be an all-star in this league. Jaylen Brown probably will be an all-star one day as well. It's possible he can be an all-star one day. I think in that trade, maybe KP is a superstar. I don't know. We don't know that yet. But I think if you do that trade and you end up with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you have 2 all-stars, in my opinion. 2 future all-stars, I think. You know what I mean? You know, that's what I think. Shout out to my man Knicks Fan TV. I thank you for jumping on, man, and showing me support. And I'm going to definitely jump on your show and show you support for real. I appreciate it, bro. 100%. 100%. You know, but yeah, I think we would have been better. I think we would have been better. El Honcho, so you saying that KP is going to be all NBA? Because I see you put up there, you say all NBA is better than all star. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. You know what I mean? And we don't know if KP is going to be all NBA. You know what I mean? Ben, you said Tatum and Brown ain't all stars. Hey, not now. Not now they're not. But one day, I think both of them will be. Jason Tatum, listen. Jason Tatum's a 19-year-old rookie. And I know people are going to talk about Donovan Mitchell. He's a rookie and look what he's doing. Donovan Mitchell is 21. I'm not putting anything down. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. He's 21. He can't help his age. You know, so I'm not downing him. But Jason Tatum is 19 years old. He's playing on a huge stage. You know, he dropped 21 points, 28 points tonight. That's some serious business, man, for a 19-year-old kid. You know, I think they put up the stat that he just scored tonight. 28 points is the most points by a rookie for the Celtics since Larry Bird. That's huge. That's huge, B. That's huge, B. It's huge. In my opinion, it is. You know what I mean? You know, I think that's huge. And I think that if that would have happened, you would have added a ton of talent to the team. I mean, of course, it's water under the bridge, and it would never happen now. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not think that if the Knicks offered KP to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum all day, the Celtics would say no, in my opinion. That's what I think. I think they'd say no. Steven Ramirez, you say KP averaged 22 with a coach who barely got him clean looks, and he led the league in blocks by a lot. KP is absolutely going to be all NBA when he comes back stronger and with a coach like Bud. I hope so. I certainly hope so. Look, I'm not putting KP down. You know what I'm saying? I love KP. I want KP to be the superstar, the all NBA player. I want him to be. You know what I mean? I just think that if that trade would have went down, and of course we're speaking in retrospect, right? You know, we're Monday morning quarterbacking here. If that trade would have went down, then the Knicks would have gotten Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I think that we would have. I think it would have been more valuable having those two players. Having those two players than just one. You know what I mean? Because I think we would have been more athletic. I think we would have been better, a better defensive team. Because everyone wants to talk about KP, and KP's young. He's gonna get better. right? But everyone, wants to call him this great defensive player because he gets blocks. That's like a guard getting steals to me, though. Just because a guard gets a lot of steals doesn't mean they're a great on-ball defender. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that they're a great defensive player. It's the same thing with KP. KP gets blocks. He's 7'3". He's going to get blocks. It doesn't mean he's a great defensive player. Can he shut somebody down one-on-one? Can he guard those fours out there on the perimeter? That's my take on it. So, I don't want y'all to think I'm hating on KP. I'm just saying what I see. Just saying what I see. So, I hope KP turns out to be the person that we all think he can be. You know what I mean? And I think that, this leg injury, look, Paul George came back from the leg injury. A lot of guys came back from the leg injury. I think KP will come back and he'll be stronger. He'll be better. But I think that if the Knicks would have made that trade, if that was the trade, I don't know what exactly it was. There was rumors, of course. If that would have went down and we got those two guys, I think we would have been better with those two guys than just one. But, hey, I'm not complaining. I'm not crying. I'm not complaining about it. It's just a thought. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thought. And let's be honest. It's a thought, but the possibility in the future of KP not being a Knick is very real. You know what I'm saying? It's very real. And if anything ever happens and we're forced to trade him, at least we need to know the type of guys we want. The type of deals that would be valuable based on what he's going to be when he gets back. But because look, it could happen. It could happen that KP is not a lifelong Knick. You know what I'm saying? It definitely could happen. So don't I don't know. I'm just saying it could happen. KP, I think he wants to be in New York. I think he wants to be a Knick. But of course, based on, they're going to make their decisions based on what's going on with this franchise. What management is doing and how our coaching staff shakes loose. But I think you guys better stop fronting on Brown and Tatum though, because the Celtics right now, they have a squad. If they can keep this squad together, they have a team that looks like it's ready to control things for years to come, a lot of years. So KP better be what everyone's saying he's going to be, because the Celtics had pieces for days. They have players for days. Now, players are going to want money, and you're not always going to be able to keep everyone together. You know what I'm saying? Terry Rozier, he's going to want money. I think, especially after performing the way that he's performed in these playoffs, Terry Rozier is going to be looking to get paid. I would be, when his contract is up. I don't know. I'm going to check now and see what his contract is like. But he's going to be looking to get paid. Jason Tatum, he's on his rookie contract. He's a rookie this year. So he's on his rookie contract. He'll be on that for a little while. He's got, 3 years on that contract or whatever it is. Of course, Kyrie is going to be a free agent in 2019. So you're going to have to pay Kyrie. Looking at Boston's situation. We just looking. Gordon Hayward, of course, is getting paid till 2021. Al Horford has a player option at the end of 2019. Kyrie has a player option at the end of 2019. So you got to decide whether or not, if they both opt in, which I think Al Horford is going to opt in. Kyrie, we'll see. Jason Tatum is on a beautiful deal based on the value that he's going to give you these next until 2022. That kid's on a seriously team-friendly deal, because I think his value he's gonna outplay that by far. You know what I mean? They got Greg Monroe, who will probably I don't know if he's gonna sign back with the Celtics next year. He's gonna be looking for a place where he can play. Got Marcus Morris. You got Jaylen Brown. Look at Jaylen Brown. $5 million this year, $5 million next year, $6 million in 2019-20. Then you got a qualifying offer for $8 million. That is value. That is value. Marcus Smart, $4.5 million this year, $6 million next year for a qualifying offer for Marcus Smart next year. Terry Rozier. This kid is making $2 million this year, $3 million next year. So he's not a free agent until 2019. And then the Celtics, they've got to make a qualifying offer to the kid. There'll probably be some kind of extension made before then. We'll see. But the kid is playing himself. If he continues to perform this way in the playoffs, and if Kyrie gets hurt again next year, which is very likely that he's going to be out some games next year, and he performs that way, he's going to earn himself some money. So I mean, the Celtics are in very, very good hands for the next few years. I mean, the Celtics and the Sixers for the next few years, they're gonna do some things and make some moves. And then, of course, depending on what happens with LeBron James, if I'm LeBron James, I stay in the East. I'm not going out West. Too much competition out there. Too many super teams out there. I'm staying in the East. I wouldn't be surprised to see LeBron James try to join the Sixers or somebody like that. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. That's what LeBron James does. That's LeBron James for you. Emmanuel C. said, I'm telling you, Kyrie looks like a future asset. So you're saying a future asset for the Celtics? You meaning that the Celtics could use Kyrie to get another player, trade Kyrie, and let Terry Rozier run it? Is that what you're saying? I'm going to open up the lines. You guys want to call in and talk a little bit? We've been talking more about the Celtics than we had the Sixers. And, the reason why is because I'm really kind of amazed at the Celtics, man. The coaching, the talent they have, the way Brad Stevens uses his talent, the guy knows what he's doing. I really do. But I don't think that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are just system guys, though. I think that both of them would be exceptional in any system that they're playing in. You know what I mean? I got my man Ron Cleveland on the line. Ron Cleveland, what's popping, bro? Man, hold on, hold on for 1 second, Ronald. Let me get these guys off. There we go. All right. Go ahead, bro.
It's been a minute. What's up to the chat, man? Hey, everything is lovely. I'm looking at what's going on, man. Simeon, hey, I don't know if you caught my little line I put in the chat, and I've been saying this for a while, even with the early part of that last series with Rozier and what he's doing. Boston gonna have a dilemma on their hands.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, Kyrie been having these surgeries. He's older than Rozier. The way Rozier is playing, that kid is not gonna want to be on nobody's bench, nor do he deserve to be on nobody's bench. The way he's playing, his defense is better than Kyrie. He gives you the same offense. So the only thing between him and Kyrie that's different is the game on the line. Kyrie might have a night where he go for 30-something. You know what I mean? One of them outliers game. But
right.
When you look at, if you compare both of them guys' game, honestly, not looking at the name, if you compare their game, Rozier at this point in time has the better game because defensively, he will guard better than Kyrie. And he's going to give you offense. And he's on a cheaper contract.
He's on a much cheaper contract. But will he give you
that? And that always wins out.
Will he give you that offense consistently?
But you won't need him. Think about it. Think about how Boston game is. It's not predicated on one player being the star player. Remember, you got Hayward coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum is ascending. And I'm telling you right now, Jaylen Brown is coming. He is the Kawhi Leonard out east. When you look at his game, it's Kawhi Leonard all over it. You can just dissect it any way you want to. You look at it, you can see it. That kid and both of those guys feed off each other. Him and Tatum, when they're on the floor together, they feed off each other. Marcus Smart, I love him. I love him too. And so when you look at that, Sim, I'm telling you, because I remember this came up, my barber was picking with me because he's a Boston fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a Knicks fan. So he was picking with me when Phil had the trade out there for KP. And I told him like this. I said, man, look here. The only way I give up KP, I want Tatum, I want Brown, I want Marcus Smart, and a first-round pick. I want that Brooklyn pick. I said, that's the only way I'm giving up KP. But now that, and this was before the injury, but now that KP has had this injury, you know what I mean? It's sketchy. And you know how that goes, man. It's sketchy. And I agree with you, too, when you said the point about you look at KP might not be with us. And I won't be surprised. Yeah. I'm telling you that right now. People in the chat, they might think we crazy for saying this, man, but you know the game, you know the politics of sports.
Mm-hmm.
It is not far-fetched to believe this dude will not be with the Knicks. Because when you look at sports, it's about accelerating your timeline to win a championship.
Yeah,
and
it's entirely possible.
You can move and you get multiple picks and players. Teams will do that. And let's just cross segment away. Go and look to the NFL. Look what the Dallas Cowboys did. I hate the Cowboys, but look what they did when Jimmy Johnson came there to accelerate their chance of winning the title.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of Herschel Walker.
Right.
And because they got rid of Herschel Walker, it enabled them to win 3 titles?
Mm-hmm.
Should have been about 5.
Yeah.
If Jerry Jones would have kept his nose out of the business.
Yeah. I mean, looking at Jaylen Brown, man. Jaylen Brown for the playoffs right now is averaging 17.9 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 1.4 assists, shooting 46.7% from the field, 37.8% from 3. That's some nice stats.
I take that all day. And how old is Jaylen?
And Jaylen, how old is he? Let me see. Let's see if I can run that back and see how old he is. I mean, he's early 20s.
Man, that ain't nothing, Sam. That ain't nothing.
Jaylen Brown is 21.
21. Are you kidding me?
Jaylen Brown is 21 years old. You know, I thought he was older than that. He's 21.
21 just became legal to drink.
Yeah.
Man, he's got. I'm gonna tell you right now, Jaylen Brown is the key to Boston's success, but more so that coach, man. I love Brad Stevenson, man.
Yeah.
They got the next man up mentality. It ain't, and that's why I say Kyrie Irving is gonna be expendable, and I think they will move him. I don't think they're gonna re-sign him. Rozier keep playing the way he's playing. Mm-hmm. We know Danny Ainge is a smart GM. Danny Ainge, let's just be real. Danny Ainge moved your boy Isaiah Thomas. Similar type player to Kyrie. Offensive minded. He moved Kyrie, and now if they continue to go far, you can look at it like this. Rozier keep playing the way he's playing. Kyrie having them injuries. They're not gonna tie up a ton of money to him when they can keep Rozier and he's younger and keep that continuity. I just see it brewing. They're gonna have a controversy with that point guard position. And for us as Knicks fan, hey Sam, you know how much I've championed Mark Jackson, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you right now, man, I'm really off the Mark Jackson bandwagon.
It's not looking like he's in the mix. It's not looking like he's in the mix.
I'm gonna tell you who I'm feeling, man.
Who's that?
It's one or two, man. And it's not because they're the latest hot names on the presser. But when I think about Budenholzer, And I think about Blatt, man. I just look at something. I saw an article just recently, and I was watching the actual players commenting themselves. Man, it was a video where Amon Shumpert, Kyrie Irving, all these guys were talking about David Blatt and how he put them in positions, how the motion offense, how he allows them to give input. He don't get rattled. You know what I mean? He's even keel. That's what you need for New York. You don't need a coach that going, let his emotion get so much involved, but he's going to be even keel. Okay. And the only number one coach, man, right now has got to be Budenholzer. And I say that because when I look at what he did with Atlanta didn't have no players, man. They had a bunch of role players with a borderline. They had him as an all-star in the East, but Al Horford at the time wasn't what he is right now. And them boys was winning games. If he can do that with them boys, man, and look what he did with Schroeder. Schroeder wasn't even a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy come from San Antonio. San Antonio know what they're doing, man. 17 years on the Pop, you're going to learn something. And
that's true.
Of fact,
you're going to learn a whole lot.
He was under Pop. The guy was the lead top assistant.
Right.
So you look at two folks, Tim. The fact the guy was under Pop. The guy got a chance. We know Kawhi gonna want out of there, man. So if Kawhi got his choice, hey, that's a possibility, man.
Yeah.
That's a possibility right there for us to get Kawhi.
I'm not crazy about selling out for Kawhi though. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not crazy about it, man.
I don't want to sell out for him neither. I'd rather him wait till his contract up. I'm not with that no more. Not with that giving up a bunch of players to get one player. That when Melo came to us, that's the last I want to ever see something like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that with the Knicks no more.
Right. I'm with you.
That's old.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
Like my mama say that record scratch, man.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. Hey, Ron, I'm gonna let you go because I got some other people trying to get in. All right.
Yeah, man. Hey,
I appreciate the call.
Last thing I gotta say to you, Sam. Hey, what's up with that AAU team, man?
My team?
No, that AAU team.
OKC.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, they played like it. That's exactly what they played like. Bunch of guys just thrown together, man. All right, Tony. All right, Ron. I got some other about Tony Crow's about to call in. So let me get him on the line.
All right, peace out to the chat. The Knicks will be back.
All right, bro. Peace out.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tony Crow calling in. Let me get my man Tony up on the line right quick. Okay. Tony, what's popping, bro?
What's going on, yo? Black is time.
For sure, man.
Chat.
So, let me ask you, what do you think about if the Knicks had traded KP to Boston, and we got Jaylen Brown and a first-round draft pick, and that pick ended up being Jason Tatum, would the Knicks be better or worse?
I mean, yeah, we'd be better. I don't really think it's too much to debate, especially in hindsight with the injury and everything.
Well,
but,
yeah, right. When you're looking at hindsight with the injury, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't want to think about that. I'm rocking with my guy. That's who we got.
I'm with it. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm all. I support KP 100%. Huh?
I love both those guys. I was surprised, just like you, 21-year-old Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I thought he was older too.
Yeah, I thought he was a little older than that.
He definitely plays like he's seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a 4-year.
Yeah, I thought he was in the league for. Yeah, I thought he was in the league for a little bit.
Well,
about 3 years. I thought this was like maybe his 3rd year. I thought.
But yeah, that's just crazy. One thing, Ron Cleveland, that's his name.
Yeah.
Al Horford was the same guy in Atlanta. I promise you that. And I'm not even a big Al Horford fan, but he's exactly the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the model of consistency in the NBA and longevity. I think he'd be the same guy in almost any system. And not for nothing. If you look at how Atlanta played, they're almost identical to the Celtics.
Yeah.
I mean, minus, or let me say, identical to the Celtics right now, being with no superstar. They were all about the team, and that's exactly how Atlanta played. Like,
yeah, I think Celtics defense is better than Atlanta's was. I mean, Atlanta had a decent defense, but I think Celtics defense right now is better than when Al Horford played with the Celtic with the Hawks. I think the Celtics defense right now compared to those teams is better.
It might be a wash. I think the Celtics have maybe a little bit. I mean, definitely more athletic players, so that may help a little bit. But I mean, if you're going like talent for talent, because Boston is a lot more talented, like way more talented than those Atlanta teams.
Yeah, way more.
If you go like talent for talent and pound for pound, I'd say they're like, you know what I mean, identical. Especially if you compare the personnel, you would expect Boston to be a little bit.
Yeah, you would definitely expect Boston to be. I agree with that.
But yeah, I mean, as far as style of play, and no superstar, just team mentality. You never know who's going to be the leading scorer on any given night. That's exactly how Atlanta was. They surprised everybody, and they were surprisingly a good defensive team as well. Like, to me, they're mirror image, and that's what you kind of supposed to do. And you could say the same with the Spurs, to an extent. They just had superstars.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I kind of missed the game. My internet was choppy. So I didn't really get.
I missed half of the game. I missed half of the game, but Philly was. They wasn't really as. I mean, they were competitive, but Boston kind of dominated the game for real. From where I picked it up at, I picked it up midway through the third quarter. After basketball practice, the Celtics were kind of dominating the game. I'm thinking maybe Philly was just a little bit shell shocked. You know what I mean?
I could see that.
They're young.
You gotta realize that, like you said, they're young. They don't have the experience that a Boston has. I mean, even if you credit Al Horford alone with playoff experience,
exactly,
he probably has more playoff experience by himself than the entire Philly team.
Yeah, so yeah, they were probably a little bit shell shocked. So we'll see if they can calm down. Get the nervous jitters out. Hey, all they gotta do is split, right? All they want to do is split. No matter what happened this game, all they have to do is split.
And it's funny. I was talking to my boss probably about a week ago, and I basically said the same thing people say now, like Boston could potentially trade Kyrie and get another first round pick.
They could.
Multiple. They could do the same thing with Hayward.
They could. Yo, they could trade. They have so much talent. It's wild. They could trade Kyrie and still let Terry Rozier play, and get a first round pick and maybe even some other rotation players. It's crazy.
Just imagine, like whomever they like in the draft, like whomever it is, they could potentially just say, "Yeah, that's who I want." And replace that guy with Kyrie and probably still get something else in return.
It's crazy because they got talent for days. And then you got Danny Ainge up there making deals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's yeah.
It,
It's nuts. They're set up for a long time.
yeah, it's actually kind of sad and disheartening as a Knicks fan.
It is, right?
Even with the potential we have, even if everything goes A1 perfect, we still gotta get players in here.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if everything goes perfect, we still got to get past Boston and Philly.
Yep.
And both of them have assets for days.
Yeah.
Both of them got. I mean,
it's very disheartening, man.
I mean, Philly has what, a number 9 pick this year?
Yeah, they're right behind us, I believe.
I mean, number 10 pick or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think we're 9, they're 10. They're right behind us.
You know, they got a top 10 pick this year.
Yeah, and Philly is weird because they're so good and they don't have a superstar, or let me say they don't have someone else's superstar.
Yeah, right.
Like they're just breeding and grooming their own talent, and that's even scarier to in a sense.
Yeah,
because it's almost not gonna stop.
Yeah, that's what Hinkie's process was all about. Everyone, everyone focuses on the tanking part, but really the process was about collecting assets, not just tanking. Collecting assets, either if it's collecting draft picks, collecting young talent. That was the process.
And I believe part of that process was not caring about a guy being potentially injured right now,
right?
And saying,
exactly.
You know what?
Exactly.
His talent. I'm gonna wait a year for his talent.
Yeah, exactly. and I wouldn't be surprised if when a guy was injured, that a little injury, they say take as much time as you need, build your body, get strong. You know what I'm saying? You guys build in the off season, get your body strong, and then come back. I mean, what's the chances that your top picks every year go out injured?
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I honestly was talking about. I wouldn't mind if somehow we got Porter Jr. and if he had to sit out a year with KP potentially missing a year and starting our own process.
Yeah. I mean, what we did,
like that's going to counteract what these two teams are doing.
Yeah, but what we did with Frank this year, which I don't think anyone realized until the end of the year, is they didn't expect anything from Frank, which is the reason why we brought all these point guards in. And then throughout the year, they had him actually weight training, where he picked up 8 pounds over the course of the year. What that tells us is they were worried about developing him, picking up 8 pounds, picking up that muscle, instead of saying, okay, we need him to contribute this or that. They actually went ahead and developed him and helped him build his body as part of his development. Because most of the time throughout the year, NBA players, they might hit the weights to stay strong, but they're not really hitting them hard to put on muscle. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to affect your game. You know what I mean? It's going to affect your game. But with Frank, they actually tried to use it to put on muscle, which is why he gained, his weight went up 8 pounds.
Whatever. I mean, that's somewhat of a process as well. That's one thing in New York. It'd be real tough to have a process going in New York where telling people you gotta wait a year to see this guy that just got. But I mean, people were mad about Frank. I know I was. I wanted him in the starting lineup from the beginning of the season.
Me too. So did I.
Let's throw him to the Wolves. Yep. That's the best way to learn.
Exactly. I wanted to see him out there, see what he could do, but. This next coach going to put him out there. This next coach, if it's David Blatt or Bud, I think they're putting him out. If it's David Blatt, I think he's putting him out there. David Blatt is a European, even though he's from Boston, right? He's a European coach, with a European style. Frank's going to understand how to play his style of game, and I think he's getting put out there.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been saying, I would not be mad at Blatt at all. my only thing is not even a concern. It's more just I don't know I don't know him like personality wise. I didn't really follow him in Cleveland and stuff like that. But I mean, the guy wins everywhere he goes, so you can't take that away from him.
Right. We'll see how that works out.
Doing something.
Yeah. All right, Tony. I got some people trying to call in, man. Let me open it up so we get some people, man. Appreciate the call every time. All right, man. Peace. Yeah, the Sixers and the Celtics, man. We're gonna have to deal with these guys for the next few years, and hopefully we can, we'll see what kind of process we build. I'm impressed with Scott Perry and Steve Mills so far, though. I will say that I'm definitely impressed with them. What I did want to show you guys this. I wanted to show you guys just Jason Tatum. My man. You look at Jason Tatum right now, stats in the playoffs, man. 15.4 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He's only shooting 40% from the field, but he's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can deal with that from a rookie standpoint, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I got my man Emmanuel on the line. What's up, bro? Emmanuel, you hear me? I don't think I'm hearing you, Emmanuel. Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Oh, there we go. All right. What's popping with you, man?
Not much, bro.
Yeah, so I see you had some things in there you talking about what you were saying about Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, KP.
Yeah, I think Kyrie, he's a future asset if Rozier keeps trending the way he's trending.
Right.
He's definitely gonna be a future asset. Think about it like they're gonna re-sign him. They're gonna Patriot. They're gonna do like the Patriots. Like they're gonna do a Bill Belichick on him.
On Kyrie.
You know how Bill Belichick, he uses his players until they reach that peak. Mm-hmm. And they let him go a year too early before a year too late. Mm-hmm. I think that's gonna end up happening with Kyrie. I think they're gonna sign him. They're gonna go maybe like 2 years. I mean, not 2 years on his contract, but they're gonna give him 2 years before they get rid of him.
Right.
They're gonna give him enough time. They're gonna give the young guys enough time to develop. And it's gonna be in between that time where the young guys are ascending and he's starting to descend. So it's gonna be in that area. Kyrie's 25 now.
25, right.
So I give Kyrie like when he's 28, 29, that's when they're gonna get rid of him, because there's not gonna be no real use for him if they're gonna have Rozier there. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They have Rozier there, and then they have Larkin as a valuable backup right now. Mm-hmm. So I think personally that they should move him and rack up more assets. Keep that money train flowing in. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it. I mean,
that's what I'll do.
Yeah, I mean, he's injury prone. We know that he's injury prone.
Yeah, he got 2 bad knees. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're paying him. You're paying him $20 whatever million a year. Right now, Kyrie's making $18 million this year, $20 million next year, and then he has a player option in 2019-20 to make $21 million. I'm sure he's gonna opt out that 2019 year. I'm sure he's gonna opt out because as long as he comes back healthy, he's gonna make more money than that. But I mean, and they got Terry Rozier, right? Rozier, again,
is he like on a rookie contract?
Yeah, rookie contract. He makes $2 million this year, $3 million next year, and then he has a qualifying offer this summer of 2019. The qualifying offer is 4.2. If he continues to play like this, he's gonna get a big extension. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
it's still going to be
that
cheaper.
extension is nothing compared to what Kyrie.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like you signing and trading Kyrie. You sign, trade, get the assets for that contract that you get for Kyrie, and you get the most you get out of it. If it's pieces or if it's picks, like at this point, Kyrie, it's looking like, you know what I'm saying, like they have a lot in that shed box right now.
Yeah, they got assets for days. They got all kinds of assets, and
they looking real nice.
They look real good. You know, Danny ain't set them up perfectly, and you know they're gonna be there for a long time, real long time.
And that question that you was asking about trading for, I would do that.
Yeah, I would do it too.
No question. People are forgetting when after KP went on that 10 game or whatever it was, 30-point streak, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the defenses started to focus on KP, he wasn't able to create his own shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. He couldn't adjust. He wasn't able to adjust to.
Hornacek was forcing him, like, yo, put up quick shots.
Yeah.
And he was taking a lot of erratic, bad shots. And they was coming at his elbow and all that at that point of the season. KP isn't I don't see him as a centerpiece in the offense, because if you have KP as your centerpiece in the offense,
mm-hmm.
what you need around KP is a guard that's going to drive. Because once that guard drives, he kicks it out to the open man, kick it back out to KP for the open shot that stretches the floor. So unless the Knicks find a driving guard, or this dude could become that, or they find a system that fits that, I don't really see KP being the centerfold of an offense, because he can't create. At this point in his game, he doesn't create.
Yeah, he's not strong enough to create either.
He's not strong enough to drive. He doesn't really drive. He's not really a driving to the basket dude. Right now, his game is pick and pop.
That's his game: pick and pop, or stop at the three. You know, every once in a while
he gets to the basket.
Roll to the basket. Every once in a while he gets a little. You know, he shoots over top of a small player in the post.
Yeah, and he doesn't necessarily back down any big men either. No. So,
right, he can't back him down. He's not strong enough to back him down. And
I'm not gonna lie though, he is looking a little bit heavier.
Yeah, and hopefully when he comes back after this, he'll be one of them guys that can back people down in that in the post area. I mean, in a few years he'll be able to do that though. I think he will as he gets stronger.
Yeah, because he had no confidence in that previously. So yeah, before the injury, it didn't seem like he liked banging down there. So
yeah, because I mean, we seen it from the beginning of the season. Teams start banging him around, pushing him on the floor. I mean, he was getting punked in the beginning of the season, really.
He was.
People was throwing him around, banging him on the floor, and it would take him off his game. He couldn't handle it. Mm-hmm. and I see BN on here, as does Brown or Tatum create. Actually, Tatum does create his own shots sometimes.
Tatum, they both do.
Yeah, I see them both take the ball off the bounce.
And another thing about Tatum's game is he developed a lot throughout the season. Because I've been watching some Boston. I like watching the young teams play between. When I'm not watching the Knicks, I'm watching the Lakers, Boston, and Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are the three teams that are definitely going to come up within the next few years.
Yeah.
So I've been watching a lot of their games. And Tatum, if anybody else has watched Tatum from the beginning to the season till now, he's been in the lab with Kyrie a lot. So a lot of he's picked up a lot of handles from a lot of moves to the basket from Kyrie. And he has a mix of that new game, that new school game with that old school, and he's composed. Like
he is. He's very composed.
He's a composed rookie. Like if it wasn't for Mitchell and Simmons having this outstanding season,
yeah,
he would be in talks for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
he's having a great year. It's been overshadowed. So
right, definitely agree with that.
Exactly, and Brown is a sophomore that's erupting. Rozier's what? What is Rozier? So a rookie sophomore?
Let's see. I think he's a sophomore.
I'm telling you.
I think he's. Let's see. He was drafted. He was drafted in 2015, 16th pick. So he's third year.
All right, third year.
Third year.
He's erupting though. He's coming out.
Yep.
He's having his coming out party in these playoffs.
Yeah, man.
Saw him with the Drew Bledsoe jersey.
Yeah, I seen it with it. I seen it with that.
That boy got confidence.
Yeah, man.
Telling you, these dudes,
sure.
man. Boston, what they doing in Boston is special, bro.
Yeah.
I wish they could bring that here, because now look, Budenholzer is looking like Milwaukee's gonna throw their hand in the pot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we might end up losing who the fans want. But the thing is that, you know what bugs me about Knicks fans, man? It's so damn fickle, yo.
We are, man.
Yo,
I know.
every time a new name comes up, everybody's on that bandwagon.
Yeah, right.
First it was Jackson, then it was Fizdale. Now it's between Blatt and Bud. Like, yo,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised some people, they're not like, oh, maybe Juwan Howard might do something.
Oh, a few was on Stackhouse too. Like, yo, pick a side, stick with it. Like, like dudes jump in the water and they don't, like, they want it so bad, but they don't know. And it's funny because they going off of what they hear on the media and Sports Center this and that, and they don't form their own opinion. You know what I'm saying? They're going off of other people's opinion. I'm like, when I see some of these opinions, I'm like, yeah, I know where you read that at.
Right, exactly. You know,
I'm like, dude, form your
own
opinion. Like, go around, survey the field, like, form your own opinion. Like, these dudes is just reiterating what they parroting what they heard. It's like, it bugs me. It frustrates me, to be honest. It frustrates me.
I feel you.
It gets me tight, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like between that, there's so much going on with the Knicks right now. Like, between KP, I don't know. Like, damn, I forgot who was it, but I think it was Cleveland. He was like, that KP looks like he's not committed to New York. And if you go back to last season, it seems that way. Like, it's either like, it's like he keeps playing like, yeah, like, he keeps testing us like, yo, if y'all don't do this, I'm a leave.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think he wants to be in New York. But, you know, I don't think it's far fetched that sometime in the future he's not in New York. I don't think it's far fetched, but I think he wants to be in New York.
I think so too, because he's low key and say like all these business ventures, and then the women that he's, you know what I'm saying, like So I think all that plays a factor, and he's young, so I think all that plays a factor into it. But also, it's like, he keeps pump faking, talking about, he keeps pump faking, doing things to try to scare the organization into doing the right thing. Like he holds that type of weight at this. For me, he don't hold that type of weight. But, like,
not yet. Not yet.
Not
He's too
yet.
young.
For
He
me,
hasn't proved nothing yet. He hasn't proved nothing
exactly.
yet.
For me, he hasn't. He doesn't hold that type of weight yet. Like for me, I'm the type of person like you keep playing, I'm gonna send you to somewhere you don't want to be. Like I'll trade you for some assets, boy. Like
yeah,
you haven't won anything yet. You got a torn ACL. Like
yeah, he's got a lot to prove. Got a lot to prove.
Like I feel like he feels more entitled than what he's given so far at this point. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got up now.
What's good with Melo, man? You defending him like.
Hey man, you know Melo. Look,
I'm a huge Melo.
I'm a Melo fan.
Melo fan, bro. But let's be real.
I'm a big Melo fan, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I really thought that Melo would be at some point in his career willing to come off the bench, but then of course you heard what he said the other day, and his little interview thing, and he sounded like AI.
I was gonna say
sounding like AI, and if that's the case, man, he's gonna be out the league.
I was gonna say that.
He's gonna be out the league. Have you guys seen this? KP got his little documentary, so he's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Documenting his comeback.
I seen it.
Yeah, that's something. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing, but I'm gonna check it out. Figure.
Exactly.
It's talking about KP. Put it up.
Yeah, he got his documentary out. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting on episode 2, but I saw it. Yeah. But Carmelo, he's looking just like Iverson right now, and it's sad because I'm like, and then it's like he holds the chips, right? So if Melo decides to resign, if I'm management and Melo tries to resign, they're not gonna get anything for him at that contract. So, they might be able to if they're trying to if a team is. Well, I'm not sure, but if I'm management, I gotta look at getting rid of Donovan and get a coach that could control those egos.
Right.
Because Donovan ain't it.
Right. Someone that can control them and is gonna know how to use them.
And set a right system, because Melo's looking real. If Melo keep talking the way he's talking, he's gonna be out.
Yep. Because saying these things like that, other teams are looking like, we don't want to deal with this guy because he doesn't want to accept his fate.
Would you want to deal with a dude that thinks he's at a point in his career that he's not, like,
right?
With that type of ego.
Right, that's the thing. They're gonna look at him and say, we don't want to deal with Melo. That's what happened with Iverson. He couldn't accept his fate.
With Iverson.
Couldn't accept his fate. It's gone.
So they were teammates. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it did happen in Denver. So
yeah. So I'm hoping. That Melo will change his mindset. I don't know. But hey, Manuel, man,
all right, bro.
I'm gonna let you go, man. Good call as usual. All right, man.
Take it easy.
All right, peace. Yeah, Melo, man. Of course, Melo had a horrible, horrible series versus the Utah Jazz. And it hurt. It hurts my heart because I'm a Melo fan. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Melo do well. But with what he's saying now, and the way he's, his thought process right now is just it's not working. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, we've got to see what happens when a coach actually asks him to come off the bench. Right now, there's reporters asking him to come off the bench and those type of things. So he's responding to reporters. Let's see what happens when the coach really asks him to do it. Because I don't think they actually asked him to come off the bench. Let's see what happens then. And because, from what Billy Donovan says, Melo was a team player all year, did anything that they asked. Of course, he did have his little spat with Maurice Cheeks because Maurice Cheeks didn't put him back in the game. When they were down 25 and they were making that comeback versus Utah, I guess him and Maurice Cheeks got into a screaming match. But, I don't want to say he's done, but he needs to learn how to take his role. You know what I mean? He's got to take his role. His role is not going to be a superstar anymore. His role is not going to be your number one guy. You know what I mean? Listen, when I hit a certain age, I know exactly what he's going through. Word up. I know exactly what he's going through. I went through it at a point in time myself. You feel like it's still there. You still got some explosion here and there. And you think, I still got it. I just got to get in shape. I just got to do this. I just got to do that. And then it doesn't happen the way you think it's supposed to happen. You go to blow past somebody and you can't blow past them. Or you think you blew past somebody, but then the defense is still there. You know what I'm saying? And then you struggle. You struggle for a little bit until you learn and understand your new body. It's like you have a new body that is limited in things that it can do. So then you have to redefine your game based on what you can and cannot do. And so you change your game and you learn how to play with what you have now. And that may be something that he's going through right now. You know what I'm saying? It may be something he's going through when he's going to have to learn how to play a new game with his new body. You know what I mean? Can he do it? Can he do it? And will he do it? You know what I'm saying? Will he be able to? First, he's got to recognize it. That's the number one thing. He's got to recognize it. Then once he recognizes it, then he's got to work on what his new game is like. What his new game is going to be. I don't know. Shout out to Mighty Knicks for the super chat. He says shout out to Phil Jackson. I don't want to talk about Phil Jackson, man. Freak Phil Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Even though maybe he was right with some things about Melo, but I don't like the way he went about doing it. So freak Phil Jackson. Saying, let him stay in Montana. You know what I'm saying? Let him stay there. But, Melo's got to accept his fate. That's what it is. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's the thing. There's nothing wrong with it. And maybe it bruises his ego a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's going to be like this for every player in the NBA one day. Come on, Melo. Let's get with it. Let's get with it, Melo. Let's talk about this New York Knicks possible Knicks coach bidding war. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about this bidding war. And I read, and I haven't been able to go back and find the article, but I read this little article about how the Knicks are very high on Coach Bud, but they also like Coach Blatt. I think they'd rather have Coach Bud, but they're using Coach Blatt because Coach Blatt is willing to accept less. They're using Coach Blatt to try to, and these are sources. They're using Coach Blatt to try to drive down the price for Coach Bud because Coach Blatt is willing to accept less. Could be chancy. If that is what is really happening, and it's an article that I read. If I can find the article, I'll put it up. I do not remember who it was by. And of course, he alluded to sources. He didn't, sources. His sources were telling him. And if that's the case, then are the Knicks taking a chance? Because the Milwaukee Bucks are probably hot on Coach Bud's tail right now. And of course, Coach Bud is His preference is New York, from what we understand. But that Milwaukee situation could be very enticing. Talk about, the young guys they have, and they got a star in Giannis. Giannis. That could be very enticing. If the Knicks want to get their man, they better get their man. You know what I mean? Unless their mindset is, yeah, we want Coach Bud, but we don't mind David Blatt at all. That's 1 and 1A. Maybe that's their mindset. My concern still is with Coach Blatt. Will he be able to develop those relationships with the players? Because right now, from a player's perspective, because of LeBron, players maybe don't give him the respect that he wants. I think he wants the respect from the players. I think you guys read the story, and I told you the story. I told you about the article that I read where, the Cavs players gave him the game ball for winning his first NBA game. He kind of took offense to it. Because he wanted to be respected as an esteemed coach, which he is. Can we get past that? Was that just an anomaly because of, who LeBron James is? And can he come to the Knicks, if he were to come to the Knicks and be hired? Can he come to the Knicks, establish himself, gain the respect of the players? Now, from a few articles that I read, he has in every organization that he's been in, he's had respect from the players to the management teams. As a matter of fact, the team he's coaching now is the team in Turkey. From what I read, they were supposed to be in a rebuilding year. He coached them to the championship. I don't know. But it sounds like right now it's between those two. So we're waiting for something to break. Something to finally happen. I want to get it done. I appreciate the coaching search. I appreciate turning over every stone and looking to see what really is out there. And in the process of them interviewing multiple coaches and 10 different coaches, candidates, they're also picking their brains for ideas. Getting a feel of what people outside of the New York Knicks organization and outside of the fans feel about the Knicks and about the current situation of the team. All those things happen when you go into an interview. You bring back a lot of information, a lot of info that they can use to move forward. So it's definitely not a waste of time to go out and really go on a coaching search. Yeah, they've interviewed like 10, 11 people for the job. And I think, but I think, we're kind of ready. You know what I mean? Let's get something started. Let's get it going. Let's get it moving so we can get these draft camps going and workouts and, start getting ready for the draft. Start getting ready for the draft. So, David Blatt, Mike Budenholzer, it looks like it's going to be one of those two guys. I won't be disappointed with either guy. Between the two, I'm probably hoping for Budenholzer. But I mean, hey, David Blatt in the NBA, he took Cleveland to the NBA Finals. I know they had LeBron James, but he took Cleveland to the NBA Finals. He was 30-11 when he got fired. He was on his way to, being 60-22 when he got fired. You look in the NBA Finals that year, Kyrie Irving was out, Kevin Love was out, or Kevin Love was injured, whatever it was. So, there's some good coaching candidates out there, and I feel confident that whoever we get is going to be a good coach. Now, can we support that person and give that person the tools necessary to be successful? You know, I still do like Fizdale. I see somebody, Daniel says Fizz. I still do like Fizdale. And I think that Fizdale is still in the conversation. But I think David Blatt and Budenholzer are the top two. You know, but I think that Fizdale is still in the competition or conversation. You know, but these guys are going to be snatched up soon. Guys are going to be getting snatched up. So if we don't make a move, we're going to miss out. So we need to figure out, you know, who we want and make a move on them. Get it done. Let's knock it out, and then let's knock this one out the park. Because then once that happens, that coach now, they've got to go and find their assistant coaches and put their staff together. That's going to take some time. You know what I mean? That's going to take a little bit of time. You know, so we've got to, you know, I like to get moving. I'm hoping today's what? Monday. Right? So we got all week. We got this week. Let's see if we can, you know, hopefully we get some breaking news coming soon. And we'll have somebody to talk about. I think Mark Jackson is out. Claudio Young said they need to hire Mark Jackson. I don't think Mark Jackson is no longer in the conversation. I get the feeling that Mark Jackson is not one of the top candidates. You know, and right now it's his reputation. I mean, for one, I wouldn't have been upset if Mark Jackson was hired, but I'm concerned about the combustibility of Mark Jackson and the New York Knicks and the New York media and everything about the city and Mark Jackson. I'm concerned about that situation being combustible. That's what I'm worried about. I kind of look at Mark Jackson like, just from, even though he only coached a few seasons in Golden State, I kind of see him like Larry Brown a little bit. I don't know if he's going to be on the side of the road doing interviews and stuff like that, but I kind of see him like Larry Brown a little bit, and I don't want that. I don't want that. You know, we need someone that's going to make this organization look professional, and change the way that we're looked at. I mean, across everywhere. Fans from other states, you mentioned the New York Knicks, you know, we're a laughing stock. I go places all the time, and when I say I'm a New York Knicks fan, and you know, people are like, "Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry that you're a New York Knicks fan." It's, you know, we've got to change that. We've got to change our reputation. You know, and I'm just afraid that Mark Jackson is going to be combustible, and will be in the media and in the news for all the wrong reasons. You know, so that's my concern with Mark Jackson. I don't doubt that he can be a very good coach. I think he'd be a very good coach, but that's what I'm afraid of with Mark Jackson. A guy like Fizdale, I think, brings that professionalism. I'm not sure about Budenholzer. I think that he seems to be a professional guy. I think that I feel like he'll bring that hard nose type of thing, that hard nose defense and some grit to us. You know, and I think that David Blatt will bring professionalism. You know, so, you know, looking at those three guys, Fizdale, Budenholzer, and David Blatt, if we hire any one of those three, I think we'll be in good hands. You know what I mean? I think we'll be in good hands. Yep, Emmanuel, same thing. Exactly. Get that same thing. People apologizing to me because I'm a Knicks fan or Mets. Yep. And last year, the Giants, too. You know. But, guys, it's 12:45, man, and I got some work I got to get done. for tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and head off. The 76ers and the Celtics, the next game is... Let's see if I can pull this up. We don't play again until Thursday. So I'll be back on Thursday unless there is some breaking news about the New York Knicks, then I'll be back on Thursday. And we'll talk about the 76ers. We'll talk about the New York Knicks. Now, of course, if something happens between now and Thursday, I'll jump on and talk a little bit. I feel like it might. I feel like something might happen between now and then as far as the coaches are concerned. But I'm going to head off for now. And, I will catch you guys on Thursday after the game. And we'll catch up on the playoffs. We didn't really get a chance to catch up tonight. Cleveland scraped past Toronto. Scraped past Indiana. I wanted Indiana to win. Scraped past them. Utah, I think they might get swept by Houston. And the Pelicans going to have a tough time with the Warriors, So, I think we'll be looking at Warriors in Houston and Cleveland. I still think that Cleveland is going to beat Toronto. I don't think that Toronto has the answers. I want Toronto to beat Cleveland, but I don't think Cleveland has the answers. I don't think they're tough enough. I don't think Toronto was tough enough to deal with Cleveland, in my opinion. I don't think they have anyone that's willing to stand up to LeBron James. That's the whole reason Indiana brought in Lance. So you can have somebody who's tough enough to stand up to LeBron, in my opinion. And I don't think that Toronto has that person that's not afraid of LeBron. So I think LeBron and the Cavs will take Toronto out. I think it's going to be Cleveland and the Celtics. And because the Celtics are so injured, the Cavaliers go back to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Our Celtics and Philly going 7. We'll see. I don't know. That's a good question. But I don't think it goes 7. Maybe it goes 6. I'm gonna say Celtics in 6. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm going Celtics in 6. I think Cleveland is going to beat Toronto 6 or 7. 6 or 7. But I think Cleveland's going to beat Toronto. And I just don't think Toronto has anything for LeBron. So I am going to head out, y'all. All right. Have a good rest of the night. Good week. And hopefully we see each other very soon, as the Knicks hopefully will make some sort of signing that we can come on and talk about. All right. So I'm out, and I'll talk to you guys. Right now we're scheduled for Thursday about a half hour after the 76ers and Boston Celtics game. And of course, if anything happens, I'll jump on. Peace, y'all. Have a good week. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe below, ring the bell, get a notification anytime that I go live. Come check us out. Thursday night after the Celtics and Sixers. We're going to talk about the Celtics and Sixers. We're going to talk about the New York Knicks coaching search. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about trades, possible trades, draft picks. Talk about everything. All right. So come check us out on Thursday. And peace.